Thank you, Stuart, for coming and having a bit of a chat about what I'm doing with this marathon.
Yeah, absolutely, Bob. Not only what you're doing, mate, but the journey you've been through. I know that we've spoken heaps over the last little bit, and yeah, it's nothing short of inspiring, brother. So run me through. Like this all kicks back to 2016, and
I will always remember 2016, not just for the Bulldogs winning the Premiership, but also November, things went a little bit wrong. Woke up one morning and had lost all feeling on one side of my body. And of course, you don't expect at the age of 42 that you've had a stroke. And so I put off going to hospital for the rest of the day. And of course, when they tell you that you've had a stroke, it's kind of terrifying because no one could tell you why that had happened. Just, these things happen. It took a long journey of seeing lots of different specialists before we worked out that I had a hole in my heart. And after a long haul flight, a DVT had gone from my leg up to my heart. It had probably hung around for about 5 weeks and had wriggled through, split in two and gone into my brain and caused 2 strokes at the same time. Yeah, I might have made a recovery physically, and the psychological scars of that kind of carry on for quite a long time. What happened after that was that I had like a metal cocktail umbrella inserted into my heart, which is kind of weird as well because that happened whilst I was awake. Fortunately, I'd said something just before, if it's that I'm really cold or I'm absolutely terrified, but I appear to be shaking. I wonder if you could give me a little something for that. So the nurse happily gave me a little wink and gave me some extra diazepam. So I'm on the table chatting away, kind of going, and there's another thing. Would you look at that? That's my heart you're wriggling about in there. That's moving, isn't it? Look at that. So once that was inserted and they put me on blood thinners for the next few months, the problem with the blood thinners caused a lot of internal bleeding, which again was something that I kind of delayed my response in getting to hospital with. But when eventually, after passing out in the toilet, lying there in an unconscious state, and Beck had to call me an ambulance, when I did get to Ballarat, the hospital, a horrible crisis kind of moment, being in the ICU, having 5 bags of blood pumped into you and 2 bags of plasma. The staff were absolutely amazing looking after me. It's kind of horrible and humiliating having to take a poo in front of a whole room full of people when you're kind of delirious and sick, but they were really highly professional about it and looked after me. And then after that, recommended that we have a little bit of a look at what might have been causing the bleeding. Yeah. And at one colonoscopy later, they said, bad news is we found a tumour. So that was probably what had been making my blood thick in the beginning. So in a weird way, the stroke had actually kind of been almost a good thing because it was actually like a warning sign. It's a trigger that kind of helped us discover the tumour before it was too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then began after that my long and epic journey with Ballarat Health Services.
Wow, far out. So essentially though, what your health journey, if it's one of the most rare and unique things I've ever heard, because if it wasn't for one thing, you wouldn't have found out about the other thing. And if you hadn't found out about the other thing or had treatment for that one, it wouldn't have sort of gone on to the other thing. Is that right? Have I got that right?
Yeah, basically. And it's like a long detective game. And that's the thing, is it's terrifying when someone just can't tell you about why something's happened because you don't know what to do to avoid it again. And if there's nothing unusual in your life, then you're kind of worried that anything could trigger another one. So it took the best part of a year to actually work out what had actually happened. After that, it was bowel resection. They took out about 30 centimetres. And that's where I kind of started finding that it was a really good vibe that made you feel safe. So before I went into surgery, they had me on the stretcher in a sort of ante-room just outside of the actual operating theatre.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit worrying because I'm lying there on my back and they kept on coming over saying, look, we're going to get you in there in just a few minutes. So we really want this other doctor to come down and have a look at you. Look, it's nothing, don't worry. It's just, we just want him to have a quick check at you. And once he's had a quick look over you, then we'll get you in there. And eventually the doors burst open and this guy comes in. He's got a great big beard and he leans over and he looks at me and he says, look, I'm really sorry. They called me down. I couldn't get away. I'm like, right, let's have a look at you. Yeah, all right. That is an amazing beard. I am really glad I came down to see that. That is fantastic. Awesome beard, mate. Listen, I've got to go. You're in good hands. I just came to see the beard.
I've always said the only thing better than growing a good beard is talking or viewing a good beard.
all that attention and anxiety before going in was completely removed. So I had to go into chemotherapy after the surgery. They put a port in my arm, which is how they kind of connect the chemo in your body. When I was in surgery getting that put in, it was just that wave where the entire surgical team, they're all singing Dancing Queen by ABBA. And it was just kind of like slightly surreal, but you kind of go, these people actually inspire like a kind of sense of calm and confidence. They're all got each other's back, and they included you in it as well, because talking to me, saying, so what do you want next? I'm like, just more ABBA is awesome. Let's have more ABBA. And so we're all singing away, and at the end of a song, they're high-fiving each other, and then they're coming round to me and going, I can't high-five that arm. We'll do the other one.
It's amazing, like what just a little bit of silliness,
absolutely.
in normalizing, and alleviating that sort of level of stress. Far out.
Of course, that goes on as well back into the chemotherapy unit, where they become like almost a family for a while. You're seeing them every 2 weeks, and you're going to be with them for the best part of the day. You're going to be in there for a good 4 or 5 hours. They're going to look after you. They were always treated everything with so much humour and a lot of love. Somebody will come round and give you a little gentle massage, and there was art therapy, and someone would come round with their dog for you to pet. And,
oh, wow.
And it's just that way where you felt you were part of something, part of a really caring organisation that understood the disease that you had and understood what people needed.
Yeah, with that level of patient care like that, I think so much is about that bedside manner and that patient care and treating people like people. What an experience. And so I suppose therefore, because of that care and that humanity that they offer every single patient. So, a very great sort of candidate to fundraise for, I suppose, So you've got this massive run. It's a huge run, Bob. This is the biggest run you've done?
This will be the biggest run I've ever done. I started running as part of my recovery. I did my first half marathon last year, and that was a big struggle kind of preparing for that and getting ready for that. But now I'm running a half marathon every weekend now, slightly hillier, because I'm going to run from the hospital back to my house and a little bit round Balan to make up the extra. There's quite a lot of hills on the way, which is a little bit terrifying. But, so I'm not going to be breaking any records, that's for sure. If I make it at any point under 5 hours, I'll be pretty happy with that. But I did 36 kilometres a couple of weeks ago, so I'm relatively confident I can do it with my sheer stubbornness.
Beautiful. So it's Sunday, 23rd of August. You're doing the run. You're going from the BRICC, so the Ballarat Regional Integrated Cancer Centre, all the way 44 Ks to Balan, and you're ending in, is it Caledonia Park?
Caledonia Park, which is great because I'm Scottish and it's my local park is Caledonia Park, so perfect.
Caledonia Park. People can jump on and donate through mycause.com.au. If you just search Bob's BRICC Hard Run, you can get behind this, and all that money is going towards the wonderful team at the Ballarat Regional Integrated Cancer Centre, BRICC for short. And if you donate as well, you get to chuck a track or two on Bob's playlist. So I was checking out the playlist so far. There's absolutely a plethora of hits. There's some misses. There's going to be some.
You're
going to be running away from.
There's some views in there, isn't there?
There's some doozies. There is some doozies. So if you do donate, which you should, dig deep and chuck some bucks Bob's way for this great cause. You can get a track or two on there, which will be awesome, mate. Well, and also just so it's said as well, the day of your run is really significant as well, mate.
So this is about the same time as well that my mum passed away from the same disease. So about a year after I'd finished my chemotherapy, I had a colonoscopy. That's kind of standard procedure just to check on how your progress is. And 5 days after that, just, when you're expecting your results, the phone rings. And on this occasion, that was my mum saying, "Oh, you'll never get what? I've got the same thing as you." That was, so much worse than hearing anything about myself. And then her disease was actually a lot more advanced than we ever imagined. It went very quickly from, well, we can maybe deal with this with some surgery, to treatment, to you've maybe got a couple of weeks left, which happened really, really fast. And, I fortunately managed to get over there with the family and was with her when she passed away. And in Scotland, she had incredible, beautiful care from the NHS. And I think whilst we're going through this pandemic, I think it's very easy for us all to forget about the struggles that other people are having right now with cancer. And I wanted to honour the memory of my mum and how brave she was in her own personal battle with this, because, she was such an inspiration. She never looked like she was scared, or she was never angry or frightened. She accepted what was happening to her with grace, and she kind of kept the rest of us going, I've got to say. So I wanted to kind of do something that might honour her memory and do something for other families that are maybe kind of going through hard times just now.
Yeah, what a beautiful thing, man. And look, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, huh? My goodness, mate. Is there, I suppose, one thing I thought about as well, mate, is like, well, I thought a lot of things, but what's, after you do this, like, this is a massive achievement. It's a massive milestone, and it's a massive gesture. What next, mate? Are you just going to chill the hell out for a while, or what?
I think I'm going to have to, a proper pig out on some crap food and a couple of beers. And then
that's a great idea.
And then, who knows?
Far out, man. Well, you're an inspiration, fella. You are a beautiful individual, and such resilience. I think again is completely admirable, mate. And like you're going to smash it. We're so excited for you. So again, just to recap, mycause.com.au. Do a search, Bob's BRICC Hard Run, to sling a few dollars. The run's on Sunday, 23rd of August. So we can't be there with you, but we can be in spirit, or in iTunes song, or in Spotify song. Yeah, man. Good luck, brother. And thanks for inviting me along to have a yarn with you, and to share your story with me and whoever's watching this, and don't forget to share the story. Hey.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot.
Good luck, bud.